God, I feel like a fucking wreck. This is some terrible lighting. Especially since it's literally my kitchen light, but that's alright. Is there any better lighting? Because that's like blinding. Like, focuses on me and makes it blinding. Let me see. Is there any other light I could do to make it less blinding? If I do this light in here, maybe? Oh, that probably sounded horrible. No, that's way too dark. That is way too dark. That light doesn't work. That's alright. Welcome. I don't have the chat up. I can't see it all. This is horrible, by the way. I feel fantastic. I feel, you know, chat, I'd almost say I feel pretty. That's how I feel right now. Pretty stupid, actually, is probably the correct way to put it, but that's okay. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Alright. Sorry about this kind of being a little awkwardly shaped or whatever, but I've never done this before, so this should be interesting. I'm put my lip gloss on, because if I'm going to wear the maid outfit, I better look goddamn gorgeous! Alright, so, give me a second. I totally messed it up, but don't worry about that. Yeah, definitely messed it up. That's okay. You guys like the messy hoe look anyways, right? I'm sure. I'm sure. That's what everybody likes, the messy hoe look. I'm sure that looks best. Let's be honest here. God damn it, I have so many fucking messages on my phone. Anyways, I let everybody know I was online, didn't I? I think so. Cool. Now we're gonna stream. So, if you guys are curious, this is my first ever, like, actually full-on IRL stream. I've never done this before, so welcome in. This is an experiment, but a fun experiment nonetheless. I was streaming Ark Survival Evolved, and somebody was like, "What are you doing after?" And I'm like, "I'm gonna fucking eat food, bro. I'm goddamn hungry. I can't keep this figure not eating, okay?" And they were like, "You should totally stream yourself cooking. What are you cooking?" I was like, "Spaghetti." So we're doing that. We're gonna stream me cooking spaghetti. There are a few ingredients I have to walk off camera entirely to go get. I didn't fully prepare this, but that is okay. And thankfully, I believe you guys should be able to see the majority of what I'm doing. If I need to zoom in to kind of like look at whatever I'm doing, I'll try to do that, but we'll see. But the first things first I do when I make spaghetti is I have a few steps. So first off, I have the overused pan. Dare I say the same pan I had when I lived in the last house I lived in. The one that I had behind me at all times. You can tell it's old by the fact that the non-stick is literally pure fucking metal now. So, I'm sure it'll be fine. So, we're going to take this. We're going to just set this right here on this burner. That'll be fine. And then, we're going to go ahead and get, let's see here. I like to have a lot of noodles, but to be honest, for the sake of streaming at an efficient rate, I'm going to go ahead and grab a smaller pot than what I usually do. I usually do a really big pot, but for the sake of not spending the entire stream cooking noodles, we're going to go ahead and get that started while I'm sitting here. So, and yeah, I'm pretty excited for it. We're going to do that. When I ever fill up the water, I always fill it up to about right here or so, kind of. You know, not quite all the way up, but like high enough to where, you know, stuff's happening. And I like to set that one next to where I'm cooking the meat. There we go. I like to have my meat on a big burner with a big pan and everything. God, I feel so awkward, but that's okay. Also, because I've never really cooked with anybody watching me. Let's see here. I usually grab a few different things, so not salt and pepper. I grab salt, which is actually what we're going to do for the water. So I've actually been told by quite a few people that putting salt in the water makes it boil faster. I actually don't know if that's true or not, but fuck it. I'm going to pour some in there. So I just do a tiny little bit, enough to make it some salty water. Not salt water, but salty water, which is a lot more effective. It makes it kind of feel like a League of Legends game, you know, in that regard. I'm going to go ahead and get my seasonings out for hamburger meat. That being... Oh, I might have to switch burners. Yeah, it's looking a little fussy. We'll switch burners. I've got a, I don't know why. The burners that Dylan ends up using always ends up sizzling at me. And yeah, I know that means clean your burners, but yeah. Make sure, chat, clean your burners. And if you don't be a fucking messy cook. Alright? Alright. Cool. Hold up. I don't think I added everybody in Discord. Let me do that real quick. But yeah, I use a few different, there we go. But yeah, so I use a few different seasonings. I use, I'll tell you all of them as I grab them out. And I'll show you them. I use... So 2 of them are going to be used while cooking. One's going to be used to top at the ending. God damn it, is this burner worse? I swear to God. Oh well, this one should be fine. This seems fine. Yeah, I'm sure it seems fine. Is this loud? I don't know if you guys can hear that. No, I don't think you can. Bruh. Why are you hating One Fast Sled? I look gorgeous, okay? I look beautiful. Welcome to Edgy's Kitchen. So, I will be, the things I like to put on my spaghetti is garlic salt. Blurp shouldn't be disabled. You should be able to play blurps. Let's see. Does it let me? Yeah, there you go. Seasoning salt, garlic salt, and when I get done making the spaghetti, I have Italian-style herbs as well. But that's just whenever I get done fully making it, and I'll show you guys like a better picture of that when I get done doing that. I probably don't have it set for you to actually go and to it, but if you guys want to use blurp from the actual thing, you can. Regardless, so I usually like to set my... Everyone's stove's different. I have a, I actually don't know what type of stove I have. I have a stove, and I put that bitch at like 7.8 whenever I'm trying to boil the water. We're going to be using different noodles today than what I usually use. These ones are called mantias. I have no idea what this is. I use cheap-ass noodles, to be honest with you. Can you see the burners? Absolutely. Let me show you. This is what my stove looks like closer. I don't know if it's like a specific type, but electric induction. My man knows. My man's a goddamn scientist with that type of response. Holy shit. Hold up. Can I set it like I just had it a minute ago? Please? No, that's off by a lot. Why is it so off? Oh, it's because I had it on this. I'm a dumbass. I forgot. I tried putting it on that before, and I ended up putting it on this. Okay, there we go. Okay. Touching it both shocks and burns you. That's always a good sign, good thing. Hey, housekeeping? Did you order housekeeping? Okay. Did you also... Alright, but yeah, so different noodles than I'm used to, but we'll be worrying about that when the water actually boils. And right now it's not really boiling, it's just kind of chilling. But like I said, for anyone who came in, if you guys are curious about any extra steps of what I did, you can just ask and I will let you know. With the meat, I'm pretty sure it's de-thawed. Make sure your meat is thawed. I like to use pretty normal meat, but I use really, really lean, 93% lean, 7% fat. I don't really like to have really fatty meat, because here's the thing. When I have super lean meat like this, also, make sure to wash your hands. I washed my hands, but I'm going to rinse them off because what the fuck? I was handling, what the fuck was I handling? I can't remember. I picked up something, and I don't know how perfect my hands are, so I'm at least going to rinse them off. At least right before I pick up the meat anyways. A lot of people usually like to cut this open and everything, but as an edgy gamer femboy, I have fucking talons, so I usually just scrape open the plastic right here on the side that isn't touching the meat, just to make sure it's sanitary, because I don't want my nails in the meat, you know? That's kind of gross. It'll ruin the date, you know, if you kind of grab with your nails. You don't want to grasp the meat with your nails. That never goes well, from my experience. And I just kind of peel this off, and then I just lob it right onto the stove. And now it's fine for my fingers to touch the meat. It's just my nails. My nails are clean, and to make sure you always clean under your nails and stuff too, if you do have nails like I do. But like I said, it's just best to not have your nails dig into the meat. And then I wash my hands a little bit while my since to get that meat juice off. It's beef, so it shouldn't be too bad, but I'm just a clean freak when it comes to stuff. I take my wooden spoon here, and I start smashing the meat up apart. I really don't know where to set my camera to get a better angle on that, so let's figure that out. Touching it both, hey, housekeeping. I typically just use 80-20 for ground beef. Cooking with edgy, super fun. Sounds painful, right? Right? That's why you don't grab with your nails. Let's see if I can... Does my camera reach that far? It does not. Huh. I think I have anything... Oh, I can do the chair in here. Okay, give me 1 second, chat. I grabbed 2 things to possibly put my camera on. Let's see if I can or not. Maybe this will work. I honestly don't know. That's facing a little high up. There you go. That'll be a little bit better camera for while I'm physically cooking, you know? I'll probably be a little bit better. It's a little too low. Let's see. A little up. There we go. I won't be able to really zoom it in that much, but this will give you guys at least a better view of what the fuck it is I'm doing. The fact that we convinced him to actually do this. By the way, watch out with the category and attire you wear. You might attract some creeps. That's okay. If you're creepy, just know I'm too gorgeous for you. God, that lighting is making me pale. If you're ever curious on why I fight with the lighting so much, this is why. I'm so pale, it turns me ghostly. So that's okay. So you won't be able to see my face that much right now, but I want you guys to be able to see what I'm doing. I know you can't tell, but see that smoke? Our water is actually getting close to bubbling, to boiling. Yeah, since we pre-thawed the meat, as I break it up like this, we're not doing meatballs or anything fancy. We're just doing normal ground beef. It is still a little frozen, but that is okay. That's why we're breaking it up in chunks. And you know what? I'll actually cook on the front burner if it's not messy, that is. I hope it's not, just so I can actually use it. And I just kind of break it up in this chunk. I usually use exactly 1 pound of ground beef. If you're doing it for more people, obviously you'd want to use more. But for me... 1 pound works pretty well, because not only it's a meal for one evening, and then it's a meal for another day or 2. And it usually saves me quite a bit of money. But as I break it up like this, I don't break it up into tiny, tiny pieces. I just make sure it's apart, so it kind of, you know, isn't frozen, it gets cooked properly. And after I have it kind of spread out a good amount like that, I like to have stuff put my tools on. That's really bright, so you can't see it, but that's okay. That's when I take the seasoning salt and the garlic salt, and don't be stingy with it, you know? Sprinkle that shit everywhere. Like I said, I like my food like a League of Legends lobby. I want that shit salty. I want it goddamn ridiculous. I want you to go in there and you literally enter the room and get dehydrated because there's so much fucking salt. I want you to remember the experience, alright? Same thing with this. We're gonna go around. Sprinkle that bitch everywhere, everywhere. Thankfully, with the garlic salt, it's easier to tell if you're doing too much or not. But like I said, for me, it's usually pretty easy. Thankfully, since we're doing spaghetti today, it's very easy to not over salt it because of the marinara sauce and stuff that we're gonna do. So, anyways, I do have to ask you to usually cook in this outfit of the I do have to ask, do you usually cook in this outfit? Is it just for the bit? Oh! It's entirely for the bit. I cook in whatever fucking clothes I end up liking. I'd like to get more... Oh, and we're bubbling! So, once it starts boiling, I don't get pre-broken noodles, but see, we have this kind of cooking at a 5, just so we don't accidentally burn nothing. We don't want to burn it too much. But we're going to hop right on in. But no, I do not normally cook in a maid outfit, but I thought... How funny would it be for my first ever IRL live stream of me cooking? I would literally have a maid outfit on because I thought that was funny. So the process, what I do is I rip it open. I have the noodles slide in my hand, like so. And after I have some out, I grab an amount that I feel comfortable holding. And to be honest with you, I usually do this a really jank way possible. I don't... I normally do it over the sink just because I tend to be messy with it, but I'm going to do it kind of on camera. This should go terribly. Since it's boiling a lot and I don't want to boil it over, I'm going to turn it down to like right below 7, like 6.9. And after I take all these noodles here, I'm trying to do this where you can see it, but I'm gonna basically snap them in half. Like so. There we go. How long do you heat the pot usually? For a decent amount of time. I think the pot's been on for a while, but I usually don't heat the pot for a really long time. Like I said, I'm very, I don't have a formula for my cooking. My cooking is very much, it happens over time. But anyways. You're right. That's alright. We don't... Usually I spend more time on the noodles than I do the meat anyways. There we go. Like I said, that's why I usually do it over the, over the sink, because I tend to spray a lot of noodles everywhere. But, now the mob is tracking me down? What? But yeah, I don't mind it, heating slowly. But yeah, I snap the noodles in half just so it fits in the pot and everything. And it kind of does that as it can. This, you're right, we might move it to the back burner. I don't know. I can't really tell, but that's okay. Like I said, it doesn't have to heat up instantaneously. It can take its time or do it quickly. I don't really mind. If it heats up slowly, that's okay. Which it does seem to be actually cooking quite a bit now, so that's good. That is good. Honestly, the thing that usually takes the longest for me, a lot of the time, is honestly the noodles. The noodles usually takes me a really, really long time, just because I do like to make sure they're done properly. And the meat, usually, I don't know why, but the meat usually cooks very quickly for me. I know usually everyone else has it the opposite, and it might honestly be the burner thing. It might be I usually put them on the wrong burners, etc. But that is okay. And so, I do usually share the spoon between the meat and the noodles. I know you're not really supposed to, but I usually rinse it off when I switch it between. So what I'm doing is I'm going over here, hot water, both sides, a few flicks of water into the sink. Then I'm going to move this around, make sure it's nice and, you know, all of it's actually going into the pot there. Now, it is good to move it around just to make sure it doesn't burn or bubble over or, you know, nothing crazy happens. And I do apologize if I'm not reading chat too much while I'm cooking. It is because I do prioritize safety over anything else whenever I'm cooking. Just to make sure that, you know, everything is working appropriately. There we go. Set this down for a second, catch up with chat while those are just kind of cooking. I typically make fresh pasta, so it cooks in under 30 seconds. When I get better after less sick, I should try cooking my own spaghetti. Oh yeah, I love cooking spaghetti. Cooking spaghetti is actually the one of the first meals I ever learned how to cook, and I've actively always loved making spaghetti, and I actually do enjoy cooking quite a bit. We're gonna watch the noodles rather than the meat because it's way easier to have it bubble over and be dangerous with that than it is with the meat, at least for me. It'd be different if I had a really greasy meat or something and it was like, you know, popping out. God, this thing makes me look so flat-chested. God damn. That's alright. So sorry, there's no mommy milkers this stream. You hate to see it. You should have been here last stream when we had mommy milkers. That just sucks, doesn't it? But anyways. And as you guys can see, I'm sure from where you're at, I don't know how well you can see it, but there's a little bit of brown coming up with the meat now. And yeah. I basically don't do anything too crazy. As you can see, I'm kind of scooping it up and flipping it over. Just moving it around, breaking it up some more, making sure everything is getting cooked. We want there to be not really any red left. Now, thankfully with hamburger meat, if you don't do it perfectly, it isn't the end of the world. Because, you know, you can eat a rare steak. You can have this not be overly well done. So it's usually fine. But with spaghetti, we prefer to brown the meat thoroughly. Now, I do know a lot of people usually do meatballs, but since I've never really made meatballs, personally, maybe at some point I should, but, yeah, I've not personally made meatballs particularly. I don't want to have you guys witness me fuck that up that terribly. And once I have most of this flipped over and it seems like it's not freaking out that much, I let it sit for a little bit, and I'm gonna rinse this off, because we are, like I said, we do need to focus on the noodles. That up. There we go. Okay. I'm going to mix the noodles around for just a moment. And then what I'm going to go do is I'm going to go ahead and get our colander prepared for after the noodles. So the big thing that the biggest reason I actually as well like lean meat, not only do I cook a lot with lean meat because of how I like to eat food. I like to eat very lean meat when I do eat, but I also like it to be a lot easier. Because the big thing about when you cook meat, you usually have to dump the grease out, but a lot of the time, since I cook such non-fatty meat, I don't really have to do that. So, I've got color-coordinated colanders. I've got a giant red one, a tiny green one, but this medium blue one is pretty good for really almost anything. You know, it's pretty reasonably sized, you know, put that next to it. It's pretty about the same size, so I placed that in the sink. I would show you guys, but if I move the camera from there, I feel like it's not going to stay. So, we're going to chill here for a second. Actually, here, I'll show you. I put it in the sink. Ignore the other sink. That's Devin's dishes. He doesn't like it when I wash them. But yeah, that's the sink. I just set it in the middle of the sink like that. Is that's still... Nah, that's not really... Yeah. Also, for any of you attentive listeners, you can hear that I'm playing Zelda music in the background. You're welcome. So that's actually, you know, that's actually a pretty good angle. You guys can really see what I'm doing now. But... Here, let me catch up with chat while I'm doing this. I know I just put a little bit of... Woo! Don't do that. Careful when you're stirring, chat. Careful. You don't want to just... You mindlessly do it. You want to do it with some finesse. Some gentle push and pull, back and forth. Some counterclockwise, clockwise circles. Just make sure the noodles are moving, you know? They like to dance. You gotta make sure they dance. I understand. I would hate for anything to happen during stream. No, Femboy tits, cry and allergies, love spaghetti, allergic to tomatoes. Yeah, I just realized this is something I need to know during college. I recognize every song. Yes, thank you, good music. It is copyrighted music, but I have it playing so quiet that it should be fine. That's okay. That's kind of why, like, I felt awkward not having any music in the background, because there's a lot of games I play that have some type of background music, and I feel like if I'm talking over it loud enough, it shouldn't be too much of an issue. Even though it is pretty heavily copyrighted music. But yeah, I'm glad you guys noticed and hear the music. Thankfully, hopefully Papa Nintendo doesn't come from off camera and fucking strangle me and smash my face onto the burner. That's kind of what we're hoping not to happen. Browning the meat usually takes a decent amount. Like I said, I don't rush it. I just let it happen. I've actually never burnt meat while making spaghetti, funny enough. I've burnt meat while cooking other things, but my spaghetti is usually pretty chill. Now, if I don't know how well you can see it, but there is a tiny amount of grease at the bottom of my pan. But like I said, whenever I actually put the marinara sauce in here, and like I've actually tried to pour the grease out of outside of the pan before with the hamburger meat, but unless I completely dump it into a colander, it usually doesn't really have a lot of it come out. So that's just how it ends up being, you know. But we're actually going to test one of the noodles. Now, I do not recommend doing this, but this is how I test noodles. It's really dumb. The edgy way, truly. I take the spoon, and I grip a couple of noodles, and the very top noodle, I push it over the edge. I take my nail, and I grab said noodle with my nails. And with that noodle, I know a lot of people throw it up into the ceiling and everything, but what I do is I feel it. It feels nice and tender. It's wiggling plenty. And I usually taste it. And to be real with you, chat, I'd actually say the noodles are about done, funny enough. So, I'm going to reposition the camera, and we're gonna pour the noodles out. Cool. Maybe pouring the salt in there to make it salt water actually worked. So, for safety reasons, remember, always turn off the burner. Make sure it's the right one. Look at the dots and everything. We're going to move this over here to see the sink. I really don't know what I could do to make it where you can see the sink better. Just so you can see how much smoke pops up whenever I pour this shit, but that's alright. Here, let's see. What camera position can I put this in? Okay. There you go. That's decent, right? You guys can kind of see what's going on from there. Ignore my pomegranate juice, by the way. it's what I'm drinking while streaming. I played Pim and K music on stream once and nothing happened. Nintendo should not care since Twitch broadcasts their games and it falls into their fair use. That's kind of what I was feeling. Whenever I thought about it, but it should be good. So, be very careful. Grip your pot with 2 hands. I'm saying it because you can't see what I'm doing. And it is going to be very smoky. So for, like the edgy gamer, his hair is straightened. Moisture will make it curl. So pull your head back. Pull your arms forward. And here, I'll dump it towards you guys so you can see it. And just kind of... I sometimes slowly do it, and other times I just dump that bitch. And it just makes a fucking damn near fire alarm go off. And I have a noodle or 2 stuck in here. That's when I take the brown spoon, and we just scoop that bitch out. And there we go. And I will just set this pan on a burner that is turned off for safety. Possibly the back burner behind where it was cooking. Let me move the camera back. But yeah, it's and that's where I usually leave it. I don't usually use the one. I usually leave a sink completely open for the noodles just to chill there and cool off, just to make sure it's, you know, prepared and ready for use. And for here, I will take the brown spoon and we will continue mixing this up. So the viewer, I think it was Vacated Crab or One Fast Sled, I don't remember who, but one of them did talk about how using the smaller burner would make it cook slower, but that is okay. Honestly, funny enough, if you'd believe it, we're very close to being done. I actually don't do a whole lot when it comes to spaghetti sauce and everything. It's usually very, very simple. But, here. So I'm actually going to give you guys the wider viewpoints, because this, you can kind of already see what I'm doing here. And the hamburger meat is actually pretty much browned. There's a few red speckles in there, but it'll get cooked momentarily. So, I'm going to position the camera back so you guys can get a full view of what I'm doing. There we go, and... that's a little off, but it's alright. There we go, and move that out the shot. How much can you see? You can actually see pretty well. So, from here, right, it's browning and everything. It looks good. We're going to go up in here, and I actually, props to Dad, edgy Dad comes in clutch. When you're making spaghetti, it's good to know spaghetti is very heavy, so get a very quality plate that can carry such a heavy meal. These plastic plates like this, you can do one, but if you're going to do one of these, you better do 2. That bitch is going to fucking plop out. So, we're going to get our heavy-duty plate, set that here. Prepared for when we're going to eat. I don't know why I brought the spatula out. I guess I've been cooking burgers a lot, so I just instinctively brought that out, hilariously enough. So I'm going to move this over here, where you guys can't see it, just because I want to move that out the way. There we go. I don't think I have any of the things used for grabbing noodles, but that is okay. That should be fine. Sam, I don't get throwing it. I'd rather eat it. Exactly. So, regardless, so, the meat is pretty much done. And I do a very simple process when it comes to cooking the meat, if I'm real with you. We're going to do one more spin around to make sure it's all brown. Or at least mostly brown. Like I said, if there's a little bit red, it should be okay. We're looking good. And from there, turn it off. Now, usually you'd want to bring it from the back burner forward, but since we're a dumbass and I was trying to stream it, we're going to bring it back. Now, that's okay, because the fan's just going to suck up all the sizzling. Now this, I would rinse it off, but since the noodles are in the sink, I'm not going to worry about that. We're going to just place it on the plastic plate as our little waste spot. Same thing with our meat packaging, and we're going to set that to the side. Now, from here, I want to show you guys kind of what I'm doing. But I can't really show you without... oh, I have to walk off stream anyways to go grab the sauce. I'll show you guys what sauce I use. I'll be right back. So, I usually, honestly, a lot of people hate it, but I just get, like, Prego traditional sauce or Prego meat sauce and stuff. I'm not too picky. I love spaghetti enough to where the specifics are not super concerning to me. I've had spaghetti with Italian sausage, hamburger, with normal traditional sauce. I've had it with a sauce that wasn't red sauce. I can't remember what it was. I'll have to ask my friend. I have a Colombian friend who makes it with a different sauce. I'll have to ask her what she makes it with, but yes. Well, so all I do with this, genuinely, I grab the very normal size jar, pop that bad boy open, and I kid you not, I'm going to try to bring it forward so you guys can see. This is a mess waiting to happen, but we literally just trickle it over. Like I said, I didn't... I'm be careful so it doesn't get on my dress. Did it already get on my dress? No, I don't think so. So yeah, let me... but yeah, pour it over here. Make sure you got good wrist strength. Don't want to drop the pan. But you're only going to be doing this way if you're streaming, obviously. And just pour it abroad. It doesn't have to be on all of it because we're going to fix that with our spoon here in a second. Now switch hands to make sure you don't drop it. Don't want to drop it after all. And we're going to... Well, honestly, that's actually pretty good as is. It's just already pretty spread around on top. It's not the prettiest, but that is okay. It's going to look pretty once we're done. So. Doesn't the sauce get bad after you use it once? So, I usually just use it once, but that is okay. I'll show you guys the pack-up process after I make it as well, just so you guys kind of know what I already do. But, so, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the noodles on here. You guys can do it in whatever way you want. On God, genuinely, I'm probably going to pick it up with my hand. Thankfully, my hands are already washed, and these noodles are only going to be used for me, so it doesn't really matter. And plus, it also lets me know how fucking hot it is. Oh my god. So, once again, the Edgy Gamer way, picking up noodles with his bare hands. The fucking Edgy Caveman is still here. Yes, it's hot, if you're curious on what that motion was for. Holy ouchies. Alright. And I'll show you guys how many noodles I put on here in just a second. We cooked a decent amount of noodles. It might be just a little bit more than what I usually... Actually, no, it might be about my usual amount, because I usually get a plate or two of noodles, but... Okay, so... There we go, here we go. And I usually just kind of cover... I know you guys are probably like, damn, it's taking you this long. It is hot, and I'm picking it up piece by piece. But regardless, there we go. I get a good jumble of noodles together, you know? I'd say a good quantity. The whole plate just about. Oh, I know. You look... Damn, you saw a fucking demon in your kitchen, bro. Chill out. What the fuck, Dylan? Jesus Christ. So... I put a good, large quantity on the spaghetti here. And you know what? Here. I'm going to do it over here so you guys can actually see what I'm doing. I'll set that here. That can go here. And I think, if you have any less... No, yeah, my sauce is empty, so that's good. Okay. Now, obviously, I'm not going to pick up the hamburger meat and the sauce with my bare hands. So, we're going to grab a spoon. Usually, I just do like a normal... I really don't know what you would call this. Soup spoon? Something? I don't know. Just... This? Well, that's why it's not near the water. Why do you think I didn't use any water this stream? It's okay. But, so, let me... put this here. Here, if you want to show him the dog. Oh, well, there's the camera. Here, you guys can look at the dog. Hold up. There you go. You have anything to say? I'm talking to either of you. Hungry with Haven. Nice. Hungry with Corey. Cooking with Kenshin, I actually like that. Hungry with Haven, I love that. Alright. So, let me see if I can angle this where it'll actually show what I'm doing. Oh, it does! Nice! Cool. So you guys can kind of see what I'm doing. Yeah, I know my phone's next to the food, that's alright. So I'm honestly... So, I usually like to do this over by where the stuff actually is, but I want to show you guys what I do. So, I usually just scoop it out here, and I kind of just sprinkle it on the top. I put some of it on the side, some of it on the top. Doesn't really matter. I try to make it look presentable, but obviously with spaghetti, you can't always guarantee it's going to look presentable unless you're a master chef, but I am no Gordon Ramsay. He would call me a idiot sandwich if he saw how I cooked, so that is okay. I kind of spread it around a little bit. I make sure to get plenty. I usually eat a lot of food when it comes to spaghetti. And then also, some people like to have more marinara sauce than meat. I like to have a shit ton of meat with my spaghetti, and it's always okay to come back and put more meat and more sauce on there as you go. And, yeah. I got a fucking mound of spaghetti right now, but I might put more on later. We're gonna set that down back over here on the burner. Go. Alright. Then... Femboy maid jump scare. XD, hey Dylan, sorry for the femboy jump scare. Doggy, baby, such a sweet puppy. Yes, meat. So, that's when I finally take the Italian herbs here. And this is something I've started doing recently. But I literally just, over the top, just sprinkle a little bit. And what that does is that just gives it a little bit more presentability. A little bit of extra flavor. Yeah. And it just looks nicer now. Now, it's not the nicest thing of spaghetti I've ever made, looks-wise, but that is... Let me get my fork. That... be... There you go. That is what my spaghetti looks like. It doesn't look the best, but it looks pretty... Woo! Don't dip my wire in the spaghetti. Yeah. It looks a lot better from, like, an angle I'm seeing it, but that's okay. I wish you guys could... I'll take a picture of it in person and post it on Discord for you. But, well, here I'll ask before I show them how to put it up. Did you want some of it, Dylan? Okay, then I will not be showing you guys how to put it up tonight, but that is okay. Yeah, put dog food on. It makes it taste better. There we go. Alright. Looks so good. Living vicariously through you. Same. But, yeah, you guys can finally see that I'm taller than Dylan. You guys are ever curious on the height check? No, I'm not taller than Devin. I'm taller than Dylan, though. See? Well, Dylan. So, guys, thank you for coming in. I'm not going to show you me eating it because this is not a mukbang channel. I hate watching people eat, and I hate people watching me while I'm eating. So I'm going to watch a video while I eat. God forbid you don't watch YouTube while eating, because, you know, that's the end of the fucking world, I won't lie. My man is a dwarf. Mukbang is weird. I agree. But, oh, here, go dump her food out real quick. Well, anyways, thank you guys so much for the support. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me, even doing something silly like this cooking stream. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the outfit and the weird, awkward, I've never done this before thing. Tall femboy mommy. Yeah, my 5'7.5". I'm not very tall at all.
Not tall, I'm short.
I'll say we're both pretty short. So, you want to tell him bye as the man of the house?
Bye.
Later, losers.
And Luna's.
Tall femboy mommy. The 5'7's tall, bro. Tell me about it. Do I look pretty, chat? Scale of 1 to 10. Do I look beautiful? I like to believe so.